Once upon a time, in a small dusty village called Okuta, there lived a young beautiful girl named Ada. Ada was the kind of girl that when she walked past, even goats would pause and admire. She had a smile that could melt an angry man's heart and eyes that sparkled like morning dew. But Ada's beauty didn't come with a fancy life. Her family was as poor as church rats. In fact, their poverty had poverty. Her father, Papa Sunday, was a well-known expert in doing absolutely nothing. If laziness was a job, he would be a billionaire. Ada's mother, Mama Ada, tried her best, selling vegetables by the roadside, waking up before the cock crowed, and sleeping only when mosquitoes were tired of biting her. Life was hard, but somehow Ada remained cheerful. Now, in the same village lived Ikenna, a young man who repaired radios and bicycles. His workshop was made of wooden planks and rusted zinc. But that's where magic happened. Ikenna could fix anything except his broken heart when Ada smiled at someone else. Ada and Ikenna were madly in love. The kind of love that made villagers shake their heads and say, these two will drink Gary together, but they will be happy. Every evening after her chores, Ada would sneak out to sit with Ikenna by the mango tree. They would talk for hours about their future, how they would build a small house, plant corn, raise chickens, and raise children with heads full of dreams. But not everyone was clapping for their love. One day, Papa Sunday caught them laughing and holding hands behind the house. Papa Sunday shouted, "Ada, what are you doing with this rodeo mechanic? Do you want to suffer forever? Look at his slippers. One side is smiling, the other is frowning." "But Papa, I love him," Ada replied, almost in tears. "Love, care. Can love pay rent? Can love buy me bitter leaf soup? You must leave that boy or I will curse you and your love story." From that day, things got worse. Papa Sunday banned Ada from seeing Ikenna. He even threatened to flog her with his legendary kubuku that had 3 heads. Despite all this, Ada and Ikenna kept meeting in secret. Their love became stronger, but Papa Sunday didn't give up. He went from threats to action. One night, he gathered the village elders and made a big show of disgracing Ikenna publicly. "Ikenna," Papa Sunday shouted at the meeting, "I forbid you from seeing my daughter. You have no future, no money, and no car. Even your radio cannot pick BBC." Ikenna was humiliated. The elders said nothing because in the village, whoever had the loudest voice was often the wisest, and Papa Sunday's voice could wake up sleeping spirits. Ikenna left that night. He didn't even tell Ada goodbye. He simply packed his tools and disappeared from the village like smoke. When Ada heard, she cried for days. She didn't eat. She didn't smile. Even the goats noticed. Mama Ada tried to comfort her. "My daughter, you will love again. Maybe this one was not meant for you." But Ada just stared out the window, hoping one day Ikenna would come back. But days turned into weeks. Weeks became months, and before anyone knew it, 5 years had passed. And that was when trouble came knocking again. 5 years had passed since Ikenna vanished like WhatsApp message deleted before read. Ada was no longer that teenage girl who wore big slippers and braided her hair with blue thread. She had grown into a full woman, graceful, quiet, and still very single. She never stopped thinking about Ikenna, but she had also learned to live without him. People in the village began to whisper, maybe Ada is under a spiritual spell. How can fine girl like this be single for this long? But Ada didn't care. She helped her mother sell vegetables, kept to herself, and avoided village boys who thought hello was the same as a marriage proposal. Then one afternoon, while Ada was pounding yam with all her heart and energy, a big black jeep drove into their compound. Not motorcycle, not keke, a full air-conditioned machine with tinted windows and chrome rims that sparkled like diamond in the sun. Children gathered, goats ran, neighbors peeked through windows. It was a movie. From the car stepped a tall, wealthy-looking man named Chief Ezubi. He wore a white abada so long it almost had a train. Gold chains danced on his chest. His perfume announced him before he spoke. Papa Sunday rushed out, wearing his torn singlet that said Man U 2010 champions. He bowed like the man was royalty. "Ah, Chief, what brings a big man like you to my humble home?" Papa Sunday asked, already smiling like he had just won lottery. Chief Ezobi looked around and said, "I came for your daughter." Ada from the corner dropped her pistol. Chief continued, "I've seen her many times at the market. She carries herself well. I want her to be my wife." Papa Sunday nearly fainted. "You mean my Ada? The same Ada that lives here?" he asked, just to be sure. "Yes," Chief replied. "I will take care of her. I will take care of you. Whatever you want. Name it." That evening, Chief brought bags of rice, cartons of noodles, money in envelopes, bottles of wine, and even a new wrapper for Mama Ada. It was like Christmas came early, but Ada was not smiling. That night, she cried in her room while Mama Ada tried to console her. "Mama, I don't love this man," she said. "He's old enough to be my father." "He has money, Ada," Mama Ada whispered. "Do you want to suffer like me? Just manage it. Love can come later." Ada shook her head. "I am not for sale." But her words fell like Gary inside flood water. Nobody listened. Papa Sunday had made up his mind. To him, this was a second chance at life. If Ada married Chief, the family would escape poverty. That was all he cared about. Preparations began. Wedding clothes were sewn. Invitations were shared. Village women came to gossip and ask, "Is it true? Ada is marrying that big man?" And Ada just stayed quiet. Her eyes stopped shining. She no longer sang while sweeping or smiled at children, but deep in her heart, she was planning something no one saw coming, and that something would be revealed on the wedding day. The wedding day finally arrived. Papa Sunday was beaming from ear to ear like he just bought a brand new radio. He wore a shiny red cap and a white lace outfit that still had the tag on it. Mama Ada danced from room to room, holding a tray of chinchin and shouting, "Today is the day the Lord has made." The compound was filled with plastic chairs, loud music, and a smell of jollof rice floating in the air like perfume. Villagers came dressed like they were attending the Headies Award. Children chased balloons. Women came to show off their new lace and see if the chief would also notice them. And Chief Ezubi, he arrived in style, again in his tinted jeep, wearing another abada that could cover a small car. His friends followed behind in their own convoys, laughing, spraying money in the air. They came to witness the wedding of the century. They came with expectations, and then it happened. When the time came to bring out the bride, the MC shouted into the microphone, "Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the most beautiful bride in all of the Anambra State." At that Sunday, the music changed to wedding tune. People stood up, phones came out, cameras were ready. Chief smiled, but no one came out. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 full minute, no Ada. The MC wiped his face. Oh, bride's people, where is the bride?" Mama Ada rushed into the house. No Ada. They checked the backyard. No Ada. They checked the neighbor's house. No Ada. They even checked under the bed as if she was small enough to hide there. The compound suddenly became very quiet. Very, very quiet. "Is this part of the drama?" someone whispered. Chief Ezubi stood up, his face no longer smiling. "What kind of nonsense is this? Where is the bride?" Papa Sunday started stammering. I don't know, sir. Maybe she just went to change her clothes." But everyone knew Ada had disappeared. Just like that, gone like network doing a WhatsApp call. Chief Ezubi's eyes turned red with anger. He picked his phone and called his security team. "Find her. I don't care how long it takes. She must be found. This embarrassment cannot go unpunished." His men started asking questions. Some villagers whispered rumors. One woman even claimed she saw Ada flying over the roof like a witch. Another said she turned into a cat. People always have their own stories. But the truth, Ada had run away with nothing but a small bag, her Bible, and one photo of Ikenna. She sneaked out through the back road and caught a lorry heading to another town, her destination. Ada's feet pounded the dusty road as the lorry rattled towards the next town. She clutched the faded photo of Ikenna, her heart full of hope and pain. When she finally reached his workshop, she saw a different world. No more old zinc roof, no more creaky bicycles. Instead, there were new machines, bright paint, and a small family living beside the shop. Ada's knees went weak. She crept closer and peered through the window. There was Ikenna, older, stronger, but with the same gentle smile. He was sitting at a small table, sharing tea with a woman who had two laughing children on her lap. Her breath caught. He had a wife. He had a family. That night, Ada wandered under the stars, tears mixing with dust. She didn't go home. She didn't go back to the village. She just walked until she found Hope House, a tiny orphanage run by Sister Agnes, a stern woman with a kind heart, buried under a pile of grey hair. Sister Agnes spotted Ada's tear-stained face and took her in without a question. Ada started cleaning floors, cooking porridge, and telling bedtime stories. She sang silly songs with the children, and for the first time in years, their laughter healed something inside her. The orphanage was in a small village so remote that TV signals only came in on Sundays. No gossip, no past, just dusty paths, old mango trees, and dozens of children who needed love. Ada found a new purpose. She painted bright murals on the wall, planted a vegetable garden, and built trust with children who had no one. Her days were full. Even Papa Sunday's shouts, Chief Ezubi's threats, and empty promises of wealth felt like distant echoes. In this quiet life, Ada learned that some departures lead to new beginnings. Little did she know the greatest surprise was just around the corner, one that would test everything she had built at Hope House. Months passed at Hope House, and Ada had almost forgotten the world she left behind. Then, one bright morning, a tall, friendly man named David arrived. He carried a thick envelope, smiled warmly, and said, "I want to help these children." David began donating money, toys, and books. He fixed broken windows and even painted the fence in bright blue. Every time he came, he asked Ada how she was doing. She found herself looking forward to his visits. The way he laughed at her silly jokes, the way he gently wiped sweat from her brow, and the way he made the children giggle with his funny faces. Before long, Ada and David were inseparable. They shared meals under the mango tree, walked along dusty paths talking about dreams, and laughed until their sides hurt. For the first time in years, Ada felt her heart bloom again. One afternoon, David took her hand and said, "Ada, I want everyone I care about to know you." Ada's heart jumped. "Okay," she whispered, trying to steady her voice. That weekend, David invited Ada to his family's house in the city. Nervous but excited, Ada packed a small bag. She smoothed her dress in the mirror and whispered, "What if they don't like me?" David squeezed her hand. "They will love you." When they arrived, Ada's breath caught. The house was huge. White walls, tall pillars, and a fountain in front. Inside, servants bowed as they entered. Ada felt like a princess in a fairy tale. David led her into a grand living room where a distinguished older man stood waiting, wearing an expensive abada and a look of surprise. Ada froze, her mind spun. The man stepped forward. "Ada Sunday?" His voice was calm, but carried an edge she remembered all too well. Ada's heart pounded. She recognized him instantly. Chief Ezubi, the very man she fled from years ago. David looked from his father to Ada, confusion written on his face. "Father, do you know her?" Chief Ezubi's eyes softened for the first time. "Ada, child, is it really you?" Ada's legs trembled. Memories flooded back. The groom's angry face, the missing veil, the lorry ride in search of Ikenna. She opened her mouth, but no words came. David's face went pale. "You knew him?" he asked softly. Ada swallowed. He was supposed to marry me." David's eyes widened. "Wow, really?" Chief Ezubi motioned for them to sit. In a gentle voice, he said, "My daughter, I chased you for years because I needed to know why you vanished. I wanted to punish you, but I never understood until now." Ada's tears fell. "I ran because I didn't love you. I ran to find the only man I ever loved, and I never found him." David put his arm around her. "No more running, Ada." Chief Ezubi sighed, looking at his son. "David, you found a good woman who truly cares about you. That is a blessing." Ada looked at David, her heart full. "I never thought I could love again, but you showed me I could." David kissed her hand. "Stay with me. Together we can help these children and build a life of love and purpose." The old man, once angry and proud, smiled and nodded. "I give you my blessing." And so, Ada's story came full circle. She found love not in wealth or power, but in kindness and purpose. Her past no longer chased her, but she had finally found where she belonged, with David, the Children of Hope House, and a future full of hope. If you enjoyed this story and believe in finding love and purpose against all odds, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Also, tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Ada's shoes? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next story. Bye!